Hello and welcome to Trains and Viatic, and in this video I'll give you 5 reasons, maybe even 6 reasons why I love model railways. So we're going to have a title in a second, and then I'll tell you what I love about for a hobby. So if you haven't seen before, a few weeks ago I did a video of I hate my model railway. So now I'm going to address why I love model railways. Today I'll tell you why I love model railways. I'll give you 5 or 6 reasons. The first thing is right behind me. I love the actual products that are brought out. So you get some really nice models, and I will spend a bit of money on my trains, but that train will hold its value. I love the models, and I love the fact that I have something to show for it. I could have spent the same amount of money I have spent on the train on stuff like alcohol or other things like that, and I would have nothing to show for it. I have this lovely railway to show for it, and I have these lovely models which I can share with friends and family who have model railways. And if you just take a model for example, the details on these nowadays is just amazing. When you compare it to some of the older models, you get some really good details. I know things won't be perfect for everyone, but look here, you can even see the wire in the windows. So I love the actual stock, which give me something to hold, something to share, and so much fun. So let's move on to the next reason. This here is the next reason I love model railways. I can say to anybody that I have made this. It's some of it's kit, some of it's stuff bought, but nobody else will have built that in the way I have. It's a good way to show my creativity, which from my university course you can tell I'm a creative person. It's also a way to show what's happening. So I've created a scene there. So we have a shop, which have upstairs and downstairs. We have working street lights. We have a little graveyard, and then we have a little yard which have got fence around it. Then in front of it we have several tracks. So from this I can give you a story. The shop is run by a nice old couple who moved in when they were quite young, and they've been working there for the last 50 years. They live upstairs and downstairs, and they have a nice family. Their parents are buried in the graveyard just to the left, and the owner's brother runs the little site to the right. That's been knocked down recently so that new houses can be built there, which will bring in more business to the shop. They love seeing the trains going past, as it reminds them of their childhood, and they really enjoy the Preserve line, whereby the husband, who we call Jeff, can spend his spare day on Sunday working on the Preserve line. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to create a little story like that. You've got so many little details hidden inside. From where about you're standing, you can't really see the graveyard, but I know there's a graveyard there. I find model making and building models a good way to express my stories telling side, and it's a nice outlet to actually express myself. I know that when I built that corner, I was so pleased with it, I took it down to my friends and showed them it. And then over the time I have added the extra layers. And those plants at the front I bought last year from the Highwick Model Railway Show. So that's point number 2. This is the next thing I like about the hobby. I enjoy playing with technology. If there's technology involved, you'll always find me there. I might not get the technology correctly, but I always enjoy playing with technology. And DCC have brought so many different technologies to me and so many different skills. As well as being able to work with electronics, I need to be able to do woodworking, I need to be able to do scenery, I need to be able to do troubleshooting. So my love for technology is shown in the hobby, but all the other skills that it brings together. So if you look at what you actually do in model railwaying, you have so many different sub-hobbies included. So you have electronics, you have scenery, you have woodwork, you have landscape design, you have timetabling, you have shopping, you have so many different skills you gain from this. So from this personally, I've learnt woodwork. My woodwork skilling have been growing further and further, and watching other people I have learnt so many more skills. I redid the railway about 6 years ago because things weren't working for me. So over that time I learnt how to improve my skills. And I have also learnt things for any future layouts I'll do. Like how I attach a track. I should have never attached it in the way I've done. I glued it straight down and ballasted it. I should have laid the track, tacked it down and then done for ballasting. And because of that mistake I got some bad bits of track. But I learnt from the mistakes. So that's number 3. So what's number 4? Number 4 is the people I have met. I've met some amazing people in this hobby. I've met some people I never think I would have met. When I go to the shows, there's people I meet regularly. I might not know your name, but I recognise you and I will talk to you. I've met some brilliant model shop owners. I have met people with some amazing knowledge. The people in the hobby just make it so amazing. As if I didn't have the hobby, I wouldn't have met some of the people I know now. I might not know them that well, but they're people which I know and they know me. I have found it quite amazing since I got the YouTube channel. I say I'm trained in Viatic and people go, "Oh, I've seen one of your videos. Yes, I know you." So I find the complete model railway community amazing. I find the people in it, I find all the different skill sets. I know if I was to look for it, I'd be able to find somebody who could graffiti this for me. I know I could find somebody who could add sound to it for me. I know I could find somebody who could do whatever I want to it to me. There are so many great people in the hobby. Yes, I know they'll charge me for the ability, for the skills and the job to be done to it, but having people who could do whatever I want, having the people who actually know the things, as there's people who can tell me, "Oh, you have it signalled like this." I've learned so much DCC stuff from some lovely people. I've learned so much from it. And some of the traders, wow, You've got some amazing traders out there. For team at Train Tech, for team at Green Scenes, just to mention a few. For team at the Colonel Model Railway Stalls, they're amazing and always brilliant for a chat. I've never found anyone in the hobby who I can't go up and say, oh, so what do you think of this? How do you do this? The complete ethos of the community, how they're willing to share their abilities and skills. I just find that absolutely amazing. And I always try to share my skills. That's why I do these videos. It's why I try to respond to messages I get sent. I know at times I might be slow to respond, but I always do my best. So number 5 is something which is special to me. It's something which not all model railways do, and it's my YouTube channel. If it wasn't for my love of the hobby, I wouldn't have started my YouTube channel. I wouldn't have found my love for creating films and videos. I wouldn't have ended up in university. I wouldn't be in the point whereabout I am now, whereabout I'm dramatically changing my life. I would have potentially still been in a dead-end job, just wasting my life away. This hobby have brought me my love of YouTube, which I will admit at times can be quite annoying. My love for the creative arts and whereabouts I am in the world. If it wasn't for this hobby, I most probably wouldn't be at university now. I wouldn't have met my friends. And I would be working in a job which I most probably wouldn't like. But because of this hobby and the effects of this hobby, it have brought me to become a better person. It brought me to widen my skills. When I did my first video, you can see how little I knew about the video things. You could see how green I was. You could see I didn't know how to place a camera. I didn't know about white balance. I didn't know about how to edit it properly. I've learnt so much about the YouTube side and the creative industry, which I wouldn't have had a chance if I didn't find this hobby. So it's not just for hobby now, it's what the hobby can bring to you. And if you say you have a hobby which isn't somewhat for standard thing, people are more likely to talk about it. I'm going to have model railway YouTuber on my CV so that I actually create the conversation. People will say, that's interesting, you got to model railway, well, you do YouTube. By actually having the YouTube channel, it's something just special. It's something to take me from being a person to who I am now. So we've got number 6, which is a bonus one. So I'll move around again and then we can do number 6. So reason number 6, as I said, 5 or 6, and that's memories. This hobby has brought so many memories to me. The number of trips I have had to Birmingham, whereabouts I've came for the model railway show, and then I had some nice times at the Birmingham Christmas market. I remember all the time I spent with my late brother on this hobby, all the arguments, all the discussions. The best memory is when me and Sam, my late brother, went to Hamburg. We went on the QM2, Queen Mary 2 Cunard ship. We had a deliberate trip to Hamburg to see Miniature Wonderland. If I didn't have this hobby, I wouldn't have that memory. So, there's so many things that this hobby can bring. And I hope people enjoy this video. So remember to like, share, comment and to tell your friends. and I'll see you on Monday when we're going to be working on Thumper Road, adding some greenery. So thank you very much, Richard.